One of the many jobs that quite often needs to be done to a player piano is the adjustment of the stack to the action of the piano. Now you can see how much movement we have here before it ever even makes contact with the action of the piano. And when you consider that the flange finger only moves 3/8 of an inch before it goes through its complete range of operation, losing this much in lost motion, it has a direct effect on how much you have to pedal the piano in order to get it to play. There is an adjustment. You have a tool like this that goes down inside of some holes in the capstan itself, and little by little you just turn this until you reduce that lost motion to almost zero. You don't want it to be exactly zero, because then it might interfere with the return of the action of the piano if the note is played very rapidly. Although the player mechanism has an extremely fast repetition capability, the action of the piano generally has a slightly faster repetitive ability. You can see that I've turned this already 7 or 8 times, and we still haven't removed the lost motion. We're getting there. You can see that this particular action is pretty far out of regulation. I've already adjusted the action of the, okay, there we go, right there. That tiny little movement, that's all you want. And we can move on to the next one and check it, and you can see how much is there. Just make this little hook tool right here to use to pull it up to see how much is there. And now that we know how much we have to take it up, rather than measuring it over and over and over again like we did just previously, we can just go ahead and turn it. Now 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn it 8 turns, and then we'll check it. And you can see that that's just about perfect. Give it one more turn. Maybe one more. So if we keep track of how many we're turning it, it makes it a little easier when we get to the next one, because remember that this is in the bass register of the piano, and being in the bass register of the piano, it probably has less lost motion than you will experience up in the areas of the piano that are played more often, or where more notes are being played, or the notes are being played with more frequency. So you keep a mental number in your head of how many turns you're doing down in an area like this. You have a pretty good idea of what it is that you're going to be encountering when you get further up the line into the middle of the piano. If you happen to go too far, another way that you can check it is just to actually put the tool inside here and lift it. To see how much you have to go. Now, like I said before, you do not want zero. You want a tiny little bit of free play in there. There are some uh, technicians, rebuilders, who believe that there should be as much as a 1/16 of an inch of free play between the striker fingers and the action of the piano. But in my experience, any time that you have a slapping motion going on where there is a fair amount of distance between two objects, one moving and one not moving, or one stationary, that you are actually going to create more wear faster than you are if those two objects are actually closer to each other, because you're actually reducing that amount of slap, and reducing the amount of slap will reduce the amount of wear that occurs over the long haul. And the fact of the matter is that when it's this close, it'll be longer before you have to come back and do it again. Because as long as you've got a piece of metal hitting a piece of felt, the felt is going to wear out long before the metal does.